So the city has tried to step up funding, but they really just can't afford it in their budget.
That is not a true representation of what this administration has done.
It's a classic she said, he said. Get ready, Jackson. It could be a hot summer. Jackson Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba wants to set the record straight about where he stands on the Jackson Zoo's possible plans to replant in North Jackson. Simply put, he says it's a no-no.
And when you rob anchors, when you rob institutions from communities, it does not go without impact to the entire city.
Mayor Lumumba says the efforts of zoo management have been good given the circumstances, but he says there's more that could be done to keep the zoo where it is and still thrive.
We're not for robbing one area of town or moving people from one state of misery to the next.
We spoke to Zoo Director Beth Poff. She says the city's nearly $1 million investment over the years is not enough. They're looking at pooling resources from cities, counties, investors, and the state to keep the zoo viable. And that doesn't include the cost of building a new facility.
I'll just give a number since we haven't done a master plan. About $50 million would come from probably public money and private money to actually build the facility.
So what are you telling the people in West Jackson? Are you telling them that they're not worth that $50 million investment? We would certainly be inclined to accept a $50 million investment in the zoo. We think that that $50 million investment should go in West Jackson where it currently resides. Imagine what $50 million would do to West Jackson.
The zoo board is looking at LaFleur's Bluff State Park. Mayor Lumumba says it's a wetland and there could be issues building there. Plus, he says the real plan is to strip Jackson from the zoo completely and rename it to the Mississippi Zoo.
We have lots of ideas that we've been talking about amongst our staff and with our consultants. We haven't had an opportunity to meet with the mayor's staff yet to share that. We've put in a request to meet with him as soon as possible.
That is not true. We've had several conversations over time. We've been clear about what our position is. We've told them from day one, as they've continued to move on the trajectory where they wanted to move the zoo, that was not one that we supported.
Poff says the zoo didn't get any state money this year, and even when they move, it will be a process of 4 to 5 years. But does the Jackson Zoo need permission from the city of Jackson to make a move?
I would say that the city has some options on the table of what is necessary in order to prevent the zoo from moving.
That's so hard to answer because the Zoological Society is a nonprofit, a 501c3. They have a lease agreement with the city to operate on this property. But as far as the zoo itself, they can be anywhere that they feel it was best for a zoo in Mississippi.
Stay tuned as we continue to give you all the latest details. In Jackson, I'm Eric Walker, JSU-TV.